All right. Welcome back to As It Should Be. Paul Bertolino here, and I'm being joined by Crystal Durant, Tommy Von Voigt. You may remember Crystal Durant, Tommy Von Voigt, because just a few short months ago, we did a video where we discussed the songs that we love by bands we hate. Well, we decided it was high time that we went for the inverse. Now we're going to discuss today songs that we hate by bands that we love. And I don't know. How do you guys feel? That it was you had a little tough time making the list.
Yeah, I said a couple times over the course of the week that I was really struggling with this one. Here's the reason why it was so hard for me. Much harder than the last time.
Is this your parameter?
This is my parameter problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tommy has parameters. He's got this all worked out.
I have parameters. I was like, how do I figure out what to include? Because I'm not one of those fans of like an artist or a band where like I like literally everything they've ever put out. I think those people are lunatics.
Yeah.
If you're one of those people, there's something wrong with you. You're not being selective
not a real
enough.
fan.
You're just bullshit.
Swallowing anything they give you. So if you look at any artist you really love, you're going to find some complete lemons in their catalog. You know, it could be like an album where they just completely lost the plot or just were out of ideas, or it could be like a late career album that usually isn't always the best, with some exceptions. So I kind of wanted to leave that stuff out of it.
Right, the obvious stuff.
The obvious stuff. We were talking about Madonna on the text on the way over, and I couldn't find a Madonna song to put on here, because for me to find one, I'd have to be starting to get into stuff like from the late 90s and up, and I can't stand any of that stuff. So I don't really think it's fair, because I don't really like anything she's doing from that era at all. So to pick one song out...
So you like everything she's done up until that?
Well, no, I don't, but this is songs you hate from artists you love. So there's plenty of tracks I could find on an album that overall is strong, but like maybe one or two tracks, 3 or 4 tracks, sometimes even, I just want to skip past. They're just not really my favorites. But I can't say I hate them. So that's kind of what made this so difficult. You know, I didn't want to go after albums that were just obvious. Like, I mean, you can go after... All right, Twisted Sister, one of my favorite bands, and there's a song of theirs on here in my list, but like, you know, I'm not really going to go after anything off Come Out and Play.
Come Out and Play, Love Is for Suckers.
I'm not going after anything on Love Is for Suckers. That's really, it's just too easy.
No, I see this, and I understand it. Like I was saying to you, I'm like, what do I do with, like, say, Alice Cooper? I mean, there's whole albums of Alice Cooper that I don't like, and it's because it's from eras that I don't like.
Right, so if you're just going to pick one song,
you have to find a song that's from the eras that you do like.
Right, something that stands.
Because that makes more sense, or that kind of, it says more. If there's a song that you don't like on $1 Billion Babies, it says way more than, well, there's a song I don't like on Hey Stupid. Well, yeah, duh.
right. Or Constrictor or whatever.
Yeah, Constrictor. Yeah.
So that's why I ran into problems. It wasn't because I was coming up dry on ideas, but because I was disqualifying a lot of stuff I was coming up with.
Well, I guess I didn't think of this as a parameter because that was just automatic in my brain.
Well, you know, it's not a rule. Yeah. These are personal things we put on ourselves.
Yeah.
But I mean,
it's not a hard and fast rule, but I just automatically went to, I'm not going to pick something off of the whole thing is shit, or, you know, an obvious thing. But
right.
Yeah.
So there you go. So that's how we're doing this.
Them's the rules.
And let's get ready. Let's go for it. Okay, so just like last time, we're gonna go left to right. Crystal first.
I'm first?
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
Who's on first? Crystal.
All right. So my first choice, and a couple of these I actually have like 2 or 3 songs, equally egregious and terrible. All right. So I'm starting with Steve Valend Morris, otherwise known as Stevie Wonder.
Ooh, I strongly suspect you have one of mine, but that's okay. But that's okay because I have extras.
And I think that the general consensus would be that his best work was that song cycle of those albums in the 70s.
Yeah.
And mostly everything after that stunk. But not all of it stunk after that. There was some good stuff. Not a lot, not as much as it was in the 70s, but, you know. And I'm going to pick an old one and then 2 later ones.
Did you manage to get one from the 70s?
Well...
Because that would take some doing.
Well, 80s.
Oh, okay. Well, 80s.
Yeah, 80s. I mean,
no, wait. Oh, go fine. Go.
We're talking Stevie Wonder, though. I mean, come on.
Right, that's fair.
Come on.
That's fair.
So the first one is Happy Birthday.
Oh, gosh.
And yes, I'm black. And it's all about Martin Luther King. And it was a fucking fantastic thing. He wrote the song, you know, Reagan was in office trying to get it to be a national holiday, and we shouted and it worked, and that's great. But the song is terrible. Right from the jump, the first couple of notes, it stinks. I hate that song. I hate it almost more than anything. And to you black people out there who are watching, who have the unmitigated gall to sing this song on somebody's birthday, stop it. Just stop it right now. And if I know who you are in person, don't ever tell me, because then we'll no longer be friends.
So, Crystal, you know where I live.
I know where you live.
So when the weather is nice...
and the windows are open...
Do you know what I hear at least once a week coming from the park next door?
No doubt.
Literally that song.
Of course.
Yep.
Yeah. Because they got their club speakers out there celebrating some 2-year-old fucking birthday.
Yeah, they do. And they all
happy
sing along out of pitch.
birthday oh, I hate it. I can't stand it. And my other 2 songs, which are latter day, are Jungle Fever and Woman in Red. Now, Jungle Fever, Spike Lee, one of his worst movies, hands down. And again, right from the jump, it's like a terrible jazzy nursery rhyme. You heard it, right?
No, I don't think I've...
Really?
No, I don't think I have.
It's terrible. You've heard it, Paul? You heard it.
I'm sure I have.
Yeah. And the movie sucks ass. It's so bad.
I actually haven't seen the movie.
Don't even... It's just terrible. Spike... whatever. I told him that to his face. It was bad. So what? It doesn't matter. And Woman in Red, I can't even begin to articulate how bad that is. So... And Scene. That's my first one.
And what's notable is that she just chose 3 songs, and she didn't choose mine. So, Steve, you have a lot to answer for.
Oh, you're in big trouble.
Oh, no.
But... Sorry, I forgot I'm blind. Okay. Well, I mean, I guess I'll go with the Stevie Wonder song just to keep it
Why
in the...
not?
You know, just to keep it in the groove there. And
yeah.
I just called to say I love you.
Oh,
no.
snap! I forgot about that one.
I just thought that, remember I told you last night, I talked to Crystal last night on the phone, I said, well, I have some low-hanging fruit on my list. Boom. That is some fucking low-hanging fruit right there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, do I need to explain why?
No.
You've all heard it.
Yes, you do.
No.
He needs to explain why.
No.
Well, okay, well, first, do you like that song?
Yes,
Of course he does.
What am I talking about? We're talking
It's Tommy
who am I
Von
talking
Voigt.
to here? You like I just called to say I love you.
I do. I do.
Well, you know what I think?
What do you think, Paul?
I think more important and more interesting than me explaining why I don't like it would be you explaining why you
like
do. Because I have a feeling you are in the minority. Most people watching are going to be like, that guy likes that song?
Oh, he's crazy.
So you are going to have to,
Explain.
you're going to have to tell people how it is.
Well, it's hard to explain exactly why you like a piece of art, but I
No,
can
it's
tell
not.
you that I
It's
like...
easy. It's easy to explain. It's very easy.
Well, it's hard for me sometimes to explain.
Okay.
Especially when it's that
You didn't
song.
let me finish. It's hard for me sometimes.
Okay.
Okay.
I think it's a sweet song. I think it's catchy. It makes me feel good. It takes me back to my childhood in the 80s.
Cha cha cha.
You knew this was coming. It's
dude.
because it's childhood memories. It's that,
No
it's that warm, fuzzy
New Year's
blanket.
Day.
And I like the production.
Yeah.
It sounds like a bad organ song from a sad merry-go-round.
That one little chord that goes down. Yeah, I was. Yeah.
So apparently I like the song for all the reasons they both hate
We hate
this song.
it. Yeah.
Oh, you like that chord change and everything.
I like the song. It's a good song. I wouldn't say it's a great song. It's certainly not my favorite Stevie Wonder song, but I think it's a good song. I'm shocked that you view that song as low-hanging fruit. I mean, taste is subjective, of course, but I'm just surprised. But then again, I did catch that tone earlier when you mentioned the 80s.
I hate to inform you.
There was a tone.
I'm sorry, I
There was
didn't
a
mention
tone.
this before.
Yeah, how do you not know this?
I didn't mention this before, but yeah, you know, I'm not much of an 80s guy.
Yeah.
I won't hear this. This is
You have never heard me say how sad he was at 11:59 December 31st, 1979.
he knew.
His world ended.
And scene.
That was it.
And mine
things
had
have not
only
bounced
just begun.
back.
And yours had just
Yep.
begun.
Yep. One flower withered, another blossom.
Yeah. I will.
It's
I
okay.
will say.
Look, man. It was
I
all
will
over for
say.
all of us in 1991 anyway. So
Well, you know, I hated the 80s in the 80s. I liked the 90s in the 90s. But I will be honest. You know, I make a big thing about hating the 80s and everything, but after the dust has settled, it's the 90s really that suck. I liked the 90s in the 90s, I think, because the 90s embraced the 70s. But when I look back at it now, the 90s were fucking awful, and I like the 80s better.
Yeah, the 90s were really rough.
You heard it first.
Yeah, the 90s, when I look back on the 90s, I'll be fair and say that the early 90s, things got really, really interesting. They got interesting in a way that I didn't like then and I still don't like now. But I get why so many people were like, oh, the 90s, it's so wild. But, like, objectively, from, like, 95, 96 to the end, it was just a train wreck. Absolute train wreck. And I don't know how anybody could be apologizing for that. So...
Stinky.
But anyway.
So all you STP fans, take that.
Yeah, all you STP
I'm sorry,
fans,
STP. Or all the bands that STP copied. All you Alice in Chains fans.
All you Velvet Revolver fans.
Are there any?
Well, anyway, so...
all right.
It's your turn to give us a song.
So over to me. Okay, so... I've got my list. I got my hot takes here. So I am going to start out with Twisted Sister. I mentioned at the beginning.
Tommy's going 80s here.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, so obviously I'm not going to go after anything off Come Out and Play. I'm certainly not going to go out after anything on Love is for Suckers. I am going after something on Under the Blade.
Oh.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, the song I take exception to is Day of the Rocker.
Ooh.
Here's my reason. Dull, plotting, bargain basement bar/blues rock that greatly overstays its welcome and completely mars an otherwise killer record. And this is how they close out Under the Blade? Question mark, question mark.
Question mark?
Ooh. Count your question marks.
Seriously.
Wow.
I don't know what
Wow, I've always loved Day of the Rocker.
Rock. Get out of here. Come on.
Isn't that an anthem? Isn't that anthem?
Well, every Twisted Sister song is an anthem. If they're not anthems, they don't write them.
I mean, I just, I'm not a huge Twisted Sister fan the way that you two are. I can't name albums or songs off of it, and I'm also not just a hits fan either, because after meeting you turned me, you were like, Twisted Sister, what the fuck? And I was like, okay, and I listened to the records, and yes, I do like a lot of that stuff. I'm not just a hits person.
No, I know you know what's up. You sang SMF in my...
But it's not like you necessarily go, oh, I remember exactly which album this song was on.
I'm not that kind of fan, but this is interesting.
I just expect better from them, especially during the prime years on such an unbelievable album, to close it out with a song that's just complete and utter weak sauce.
He's wrong.
Weak sauce.
He's right.
No.
He's right.
Interesting.
Yeah. Twisted fucking sister.
Well, yes.
Day of the Rocker.
Day of the Rocker, gotta go.
I salute it.
No.
Now I have to listen to this on my way home.
Do you have like 9 minutes of your life?
Well, it's only a 3-minute song, but if you feel the way Tommy does, it's going to seem like 9
Like
minutes.
that? Okay. Well, all right. Song number 2. This is from the 80s, and I hate it. It's from a band that I love, The Cars. I love The Cars. They were awesome. And this song was all over MTV every 5 fucking minutes. It was on the radio every 2 minutes. And it's magic.
Ooh, I am with you.
Thank you.
I am with you.
Oh, yeah!
Tommy's going to jump out the window now.
He's just going to dive out the window.
You believe this shit?
Yes!
You believe this shit?
It sucks.
This is what I deal with. You're seeing this. This is what I deal with.
It's terrible.
So poor
bad.
Tommy having to deal with good taste.
I know.
It's rough.
I love that song
Oh my god, I fucking hate that song.
Tommy, but
That song literally is magic.
No,
I would have bet
not.
everything you see here that you love that song.
Yeah.
Seriously.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
Everything on that album. That entire fucking
The whole
album.
thing stinks.
You might think I'm delirious.
Okay, well, you know what? Drive, I'll give you Drive.
Drive's okay.
Drive is okay.
Yeah, you know what? Drive's
All right.
good.
But the rest of it is terrible. And this song, again, right out of the gate.
I love that intro.
Oh, you know what? A song I learned to like on that album.
Better on down.
Which one?
Hello.
Oh, Hello Again?
Hello.
No, I hate that song too.
I hated it in the 80s, but I started to like it because of the whole tour, the Cars tour thing, and they opened with that, and it was just really good.
I love this whole album. This album is incredible.
You.
I can't believe you don't like Magic.
I can't stand it.
Oh my god.
No, the lyrics are bad, and he's even more hiccupy than normal, and just. And I love Rick Ocasek. I loved Rick Ocasek. Super cool dude.
But
very nice when I met him. He was awesome. But that song, I cannot do it. No, it's terrible. And scene. Your turn, Paul. Glasses.
I don't have any Cars songs on here, though I should. But that's one of those, like, yeah, I mean, I would...
Yeah.
That entire fucking album would be on my list.
Turn it off.
Except for Drive.
Yeah, Drive.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to surprise you all and go 80s myself. You guys would never expect something from the 80s that I like. But this is from a band from the 80s that I love.
A band
that I absolutely... that
he loves.
have loved since the 80s. Saw them every fucking tour from the 80s till they fucking broke up. That's not that impressive because they didn't tour that often. But I did go to every fucking tour. REM.
Oh, I knew it.
Well, yeah, because I've told Crystal about some of these she's already heard about. Everybody Hurts.
Oh, yeah.
That song is god-awful.
Terrible.
Yeah, that's painful.
That is one of the worst. Oh, my God, the little sort of nursery rhyme. Ding, 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 ding. And just the most basic Hallmark card lyrics. When the day is long. You know, and then his nasally-ass fucking voice.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I go back with REM all the way back to the 80s, like I said, but I completely and utterly understand why anybody would hate them. Why Michael Stipe would annoy you. Because I feel like there's almost nothing separating them and U2. Like, I should hate REM for the same reason I hate U2, but for some reason I don't.
What? A thin line separating them two?
I don't mean that they're similar bands. I just mean what makes what. I could understand you hating REM for the same reasons I hate U2.
Oh,
is what I really mean.
Oh, okay.
I get you.
You know what I mean? Michael Stipe is an annoying frontman.
Yeah.
You know, he's kind of obnoxious.
Yes.
And
I've firsthand experience with that. Yeah. He's a dick.
But yeah, so yeah, I just really there's so many REM songs that I don't like from the 90s. Great stuff in the 80s. Once they kind of got back into shape a little bit later, they didn't have any more hits, and most people don't know the songs, but I think their later stuff is good. But they have so many crappy 90s songs. Shiny Happy People, Losing My Religion. Fuck all that shit.
If I liked REM enough to say that they were a band I loved, which they are not, I like some stuff, but if they had been a band I was going to put on this list, it would absolutely been Losing My Religion. I cannot tolerate that song. I couldn't stand it then. It was beaten into my brain viciously.
Yeah. All of our brains. Away.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, so...
Nicely done.
Makes sense.
Over to me. All right. So I'm going to go with something from the 80s. I'm going to go with something from what I've referred to last time as the one true year, 1987. Okay. And in many ways, for me, this is the one true album. But there is a song on it that is not objectively a terrible song, but its very presence and how mediocre it is angers me greatly. And that song is Excitable by Def Leppard, off of Hysteria.
Oh, wow.
An album which I feel is effectively perfect from start to finish. I saw that look.
I'm holding back quips.
Yeah.
I'm wanting to cut in. Like when you said the album is perfect, I was going to say it's perfect in its shittiness is what I was thinking.
You are a terrible human being. Anyway.
Oh my God.
But, you know.
So the album for me is absolutely perfect. And then you get to the second to last song, Excitable, which comes right after the title track, Hysteria. An incredibly gorgeous song. And then they follow it up with what basically should be a C-side.
Damn.
This song, Hysteria is like an hour long in 1987. It's completely unnecessary. I mean, that's really pushing the boundaries of what you should really safely be doing when you're pressing the vinyl anyway. But bands were starting to really get into how long can we get it? How tight can the grooves be? You know, just make it work anyway. There was no reason to force this song on there, and the band clearly knew that the song was weak, otherwise it wouldn't be the second to last song buried on side 2. And yet it's on there anyway, and for me it completely brings the entire album to a screeching halt. And it's the very fact that it is so unnecessary and mediocre has upset me about that song literally since I heard that album first in 1988. I've hated it since the 80s.
What is the last song on that album?
Love and Affection.
Why do you think this was the second last and not the last?
I have no idea. I don't.
Well, because you have to. No matter what, if you're gonna bury a lesser song on an album, you don't put it last because you don't want that to be the last impression the album makes.
Oh, right, yeah.
So you kind of go penultimate track, and then put a banger at the end.
Why put it on there at all? Why even waste anyone's time? Like, you clearly had enough material. Like, you didn't have enough. Like, this album had like what, 7 hit singles. It was like the hard rock Thriller. It's crazy. You really had to force one more song on there.
That is a genius analogy.
Seriously,
hard rock Thriller.
So I don't know. I know it's there are plenty of songs I could find by Def Leppard that I dislike infinitely more. Basically, starting with Slang to now, they completely and totally lose me, and they've really never gotten me back. But that song on an album that I love so much is just a complete and utter waste of time, and for that reason I hate it.
Okay.
Well, I agree. Everything after Pyromania till now can go fuck itself.
I cannot believe how wrong you are. Like incorrect.
Yeah, Pyromania.
To me, Def Leppard has 3 albums. Def Leppard is a 3-album band.
No.
They're a 2.5-album band.
No, Def Leppard has 4.5 albums.
It's 2.5.
They have 4.5 albums.
Oh, this is awesome. I love it.
And My Scene.
Back to Crystal.
All right, back to me. And this is song number 3.
Yes, thank you for keeping count because...
Yeah. We get too carried away.
Okay, song number 13.
What is it?
Wait, why haven't we heard from Tommy in a while?
Yeah, what's going on?
It's 1 a.m. What's happening?
Yeah. Okay, so this is another 2 songs. A very early one and a latter day. By my all-time favorite band in the whole wide world, The Who. And the first song is Boris the Spider.
Really?
I hate that song.
Okay.
I hate it.
Wow.
I hate it. I was always skipping it. I can't stand it. And my second song, well, actually, it's a 3 for now. From Face Dances.
You only could choose. You chose only one from Face Dances.
No, I'm choosing 2. Eminence Front. Oh, no, that's the other album. Sorry. No, it's 1. Steal My Money from Face Dances.
Oh, did you steal my money?
Yeah, did you steal my money?
Gosh.
It didn't even have a question mark at the end of it.
Yeah.
Did you steal my money? Not even a period, like no punctuation. And it is a terrible song. And it was bad enough to be on that record that they shouldn't have made in the first place, according to me. But yeah, Boris the Spider.
Wow, interesting.
I understand that Entwistle needed a thing, you know, kind of a set piece, and, you know, he's the ox and he's the scary dude and all that. But it's terrible.
He's the dark humor guy, and that's kind of what that song
crawling
is.
Up my wall, creepy crawly. No!
Now, is it because you don't like the song, or do you not like spiders?
No, I'm fine with spiders.
You just don't like the song. You just hate that song.
I hate that song.
Yeah, I like Boris. I don't love Boris the Spider. I like it. You know, it was never a skipper. I used to like Did You Steal My Money, but I think I probably don't like it anymore. Basically, I liked the 80s albums in the 80s, and now I'm like, yeah.
No, they weren't even good then.
I've gone back to them in recent times and gone, well, let's see how this sounds now. I went, ooh, okay, no.
Yeah, Face Dance is a terrible mistake.
Although I do really like Another Tricky Day, and I know you don't like that one, do you?
I don't like that either.
I like Another Tricky Day.
I don't know.
Are you familiar with those Who albums? The 2 early 80s ones?
I've never actually listened to them from start to finish.
Oh, really?
I know Did You Steal My Money? I know Eminence Front.
Did You Steal My Money?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's a deep cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why I know it, but I know it because it's terrible, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, most of the album is about on a par with that.
Yeah, they shouldn't have done it.
Really? I would hope that most of the album was on a par with Eminem's Front.
No.
Mm-mm.
Oh, well, that's too bad.
No.
Ooh.
Not even close.
No. I mean, I went through a bit of a Who phase, but it was kind of like the late 60s, early 70s Who, and I never really went beyond that.
Oh, you mean The Who?
Yeah. And I saw 50% of the Who.
Yeah, you
You mean you liked The Who?
The Who, yeah.
The actual Who.
The actual Who.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I saw half of them live, too, so.
You saw half of them live.
Yeah.
Yeah, although I stand by that last album, but that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah, that's a whole other conversation.
But anyway, so... Oh, wait, it's my turn.
Your turn.
It's my turn. I did so much talking on that one, I thought we'd done my song. Now let me choose one here.
Excuse me.
Well, you know what?
What?
I'm going to go with The Who.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Actually, I have a Who song on this list, so I may as well just...
What is it?
Keep the Who hate going.
The Who hate.
The Seeker.
Yeah.
I've never liked The Seeker. I've never liked it. I mean, and that is like from their absolute stone cold classic period. It's a single, and just, right when they hit their stride and like got their really badass like stadium rock sound. I fucking hate that song.
Huh.
I think it's just a lame song. I never liked it.
Interesting.
That's never bothered
I asked Bobby Dylan. Bobby Dylan, go fuck yourself. I asked the Beatles.
Timothy Leary. But he couldn't help me either. They call me the Seeker. Yeah, it's... I mean, I like the groove, but that's pretty much it.
I do like the acoustic guitar, because Pete does this Jaggerdang thing. I like that, but I hate the melody. I hate the lyrics. I hate the way Roger sounds on it.
Wow.
I hate
wow.
Yeah,
right.
I can get with that. I dig it. I can dig it.
I don't know. I guess for me, it's just one of those songs that I might not love, but I guess I don't hate enough for it to really get under my skin. It might be just one of those. There's plenty of songs that we'll skip on an album, but maybe not because it makes us fly into a blind rage.
Right. You probably feel about it the way I do about Boris the Spider. It's just like, I never would have thought about hating that song.
I would say yeah.
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 All right. The Seeker.
And the one time F-Bomb did a Who show.
Oh, right.
You sang
I sang the fucking Seeker.
That's right. That's
because
right.
It was still kind of early in my time in F-Bomb, so I wasn't at that point where I am now to where I can kind of get the song that I want.
Yeah.
Like I get asked early. Basically, almost all the songs were taken before Morgan went, "Hey, you want a song in the Who set?" And I'm looking at it going, Jesus, there's like nothing fucking...
yeah.
Okay, I'll take the Seeker, I guess.
Oh,
and so I sang the Seeker.
Oh, the irony.
So...
You know what? I'll tell you what. I'm going to change what my number 3 is going to be based upon that comment right there.
Uh-oh.
Talking about not getting the songs you would want in a show and everything like that.
Right.
This is a song that was in my reserve list in case we go to a full 10 songs. If we go beyond 8 to 10 songs tonight. I wasn't sure if I was going to do this because I hate this for very personal reasons. It's a song I've grown to hate more than I should. So, David Bowie.
Oh.
Yeah. I know. I saw the reaction.
Wow.
I'm on thin ice now.
Talk about it.
So there's a song by David Bowie, and it's a song off of his album from 1987. Now you would think, well, David Bowie put out an album in 1987. That must be his favorite album.
I would think this would be your favorite album.
Ridiculous, because obviously David Bowie's best music was on the Labyrinth soundtrack. And I'm not kidding. Anyway,
He's not kidding. Oh.
So all right. So here's the thing. Michael T does his David Bowie shows, and they're incredible shows. And I wanted to get into one of those shows, so I finally got invited to be in one of those shows, and it was to do a duet with Craig Mann on a song off of Never Let Me Down from 1987, a song called Day In Day Out. I'd never bothered even checking out this album. Like I'm into the 70s stuff, like the early 70s stuff. I'm into the Labyrinth stuff. But I'd never bothered checking out this album from 1987. So I was like, okay, cool. He put out a record in 87. I'm sure I'm going to love the production. Songs are probably catchy. I'm checking it out. I'm like, oh, Day In, Day Out. I'm like, this song is just kind of, God, I really don't like this song at all. But what the heck? The show is going to be amazing. I get to do a duet with Craig, man. Why not? You know, I mean, I would have loved to have maybe done Beat of a Drum off that album, which I think was a stronger song. But fine, Michael T's invited me. I'm so flattered. I want to be in this guy's shows. So I do the song. You know, I learn it top to bottom, and we do a good show. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, now I'm in. Now the next time I get into one of Michael T's David Bowie shows, I'm going to get to do a song I really want to do. No. The next time I got into one of Michael T's David Bowie shows, it was to do a duet with Craig Man on Day In, Day Out.
Oh, God. So once you're in on a song, that's it. You're locked in. You're the day in, day out man.
I think I might have done it in his Bowie shows like 3 times already with Craig Man.
Ooh.
Apparently, I'm only ever allowed to do Day In, Day Out by David Bowie, and it's becomes now, I'm now despising this. I hate this song.
What?
I hate this song because I just don't want to do this song. What I really want to do is I want to do a song off of the Labyrinth soundtrack. But Michael T does not like the Labyrinth soundtrack, and there's no way he's going to put 2 songs off the Labyrinth soundtrack in there. And the reason why I say 2 is because if he puts 1 song in there from the Labyrinth soundtrack and does not let Emma Craig sing a song from the Labyrinth soundtrack, it will get very ugly. I can promise you that. So if 1 goes in, 2 have to go in, and it is clearly never going to happen.
That ain't going to happen.
And I'm not going to get any of like prime 70s era Bowie. Like one of the shows that I did when I did Day In, Day Out. You know, I've seen the people that he puts in his Bowie shows. They're incredible. They absolutely they destroy it. They're amazing. Like he had this one dude who's like a 7-foot tall model coming out, dressed like a golden god, crushing fame, just throwing looks at the crowd, just shade everywhere, absolutely owning it. And I'm like, I'm never getting that song. I'm just gonna be the Day In, Day Out guy forever. That's what.
Day in, day
and so now I hate this song. I hate this song more than it's fair for me to hate it. But I just
no, it's perfectly
Michael
fair
T,
for you to hate
That's
it.
fair.
Please don't make me do Day In, Day Out again. So that's my song number 3.
You and I are going to have a long talk back to Harlem.
I'm sure we will.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like that song.
You know, I think it was either the first or second time we did it. Michael T comes out on stage and he's like, in this next set will be all his material from the 80s. Do with that what you will. And he just walks off.
So he knows it's shit.
Yeah.
So he knows it's shit, and he insists on putting it in his show time after time.
The guy, you know, in fairness, he is an absolute completist. He's a Bowie completist. He likes to make sure that he's accurately doing a cross section of the guy's whole career, and I totally respect the heck out of that. I really do.
Yeah.
However, I think that he must be getting some sick pleasure out of forcing me to do.
Well, have you ever let him know that you don't like that
have
song?
you told
No, because I love being in his shows. So I'm always so grateful that he asks me. But every time he asks me, I'm always hoping.
Be a
Aggressive.
pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Aggressive.
Yes.
Just because. Don't let anybody hold back your shine on anything. What's wrong with asking a question?
Yeah.
You don't get things without asking questions. You don't get things without... It's not being a pain in the ass. It's not being assertive. Hey, man, I had a really great time in the show last time. Could I possibly do blah, blah, blah? Here are a list of songs that I would rather do. This one, I know inside out, backwards, and upside down. I don't even need to rehearse that shit. Let me fucking do it.
Okay. Or can I just not do this?
Can I just
not this?
I don't want to do Day In, Day Out. Okay, all right, so I'm going to be assertive. Michael T, I absolutely adore being in your Bowie shows, and I'm so flattered that you asked me. Would there be any way that you would consider letting me sing As the World Falls Down in the next one? See? Yeah.
And you know he's going to be watching this video. So.
Yeah.
And there's no way in hell he's letting me sing that song. I'm going to be doing Day In, Day Out next Bowie show.
He just might. You never know. Oh, wait a minute. It's my turn?
Your turn.
Oh, okay. Whale. It's another one with 2 songs. But I'll just go for the more egregious one. The band is Led Zeppelin.
Oh.
And I love Led Zeppelin. But I hate that song, Hot Dog.
Oh.
Why are they doing a country and western boot scoot thing on that record?
Yeah.
Shut up.
Oh, Hot Dog.
Hot Dog.
I don't mind
No, you're Led Zeppelin. No. You're not in Nashville. What are you doing?
Yeah, but now his baby's gone. You don't know what to do.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
She took his love and walked right out the door, Crystal.
Yeah, I know. My dog has fleas. Ding-a-ling-a-ling.
No, I agree. I think Into the Outdoor is an underrated Led Zeppelin album.
Yeah,
Yes, it is.
It is.
I'll take it over Presence any fucking day.
Yeah.
But Hot Dog.
Come on, man.
I'm in full agreement.
Yeah. And the other song I hate is T for One.
Which album is that? Is that on that or Presence?
Is a whole thing.
Yeah, that's on Presence, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's one. Nobody's Fault but Mine. I think is the only good song.
Nobody's Fault but Mine. That's the song.
And Achilles' Last Stand.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people like Achilles' Last Stand. It doesn't do anything for me.
The thing about Presence is that I have tried so many times. Every few years, I'll put it on and go, okay, and I put it on, and I fucking forget it's on. Dude, it's playing, and I'm going, okay, what am I going to have for dinner?
Literally the exact same thing happens to me. Just last year, I tried again with Presence, and I said to Melissa, I was like, okay, I'm never trying again with Presence. I was right the first 10 times. It's not a good album.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's not even a bad album. It's just, it's kind of a...
It's like, what is even happening?
It's a napkin. Yeah, it's just kind of like...
Yeah. There's no taste.
Yeah. Like Hot Dog sucks. Presence doesn't suck. It's just too bland to suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of put Presence in the same category as Coda, where it's like I didn't bother picking anything off.
Coda? How'd you even get?
Coda, yeah, the final. It's the collection of odds and sods. But
right.
Yeah, for the same reason I didn't pick anything off Presence, I didn't pick anything off Coda because it's like it's too easy.
Low hanging fruit.
Yeah, it's
low hanging fruit.
Fish in a barrel. Yeah, Hot Dog. That sucks.
Okay, well, I guess we're going to take stabs at the big ones. I'm going to go with the Rolling Stones.
Ooh.
And I'm going to go with the Rolling Stones in their most fucking classic period. One of their most classic singles.
Uh-oh.
Honky Tonk Women.
I knew it!
Okay.
It's one of those things. I think it got more overplayed than the other songs. I mean, Satisfaction is not far behind, but I can deal with Satisfaction. Honky Tonk Women is just like, it just puts me in a bad mood when it comes on. Oh fuck. It you know what I mean? I mean, do you dislike that song?
I hate it. It was on my list.
Oh fuck. Okay.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, good thing you have 100 songs on your list.
I mean, I've got like 10 Rolling Stone songs.
Mostly, mostly from the 80s?
No, some old ones too. But that's why I said I knew it, because I knew that we were going to match.
Yeah, well, yeah. Again, I mean, I've told you a lot of my songs, so.
Yeah, but
although there's some stuff on here I haven't talked about with you yet, so.
But yeah, it's that, like, it's another weird sort of country and western thing.
Well, they kind of flirted with that a lot, though.
No, they did, and that stupid what's that? Not Dead Flowers, but on the radio. What was that song?
Oh, what is that one?
Mick Jagger's like, the heart in the jar, whatever. I
don't know.
I've been working all day, and I don't
actually think Honky Tonk Women is a bad song. That's one of those songs that I actually objectively, I can understand why people like it. I just don't like it.
I've never liked it.
Yeah, when I was in high school, I'd be like, oh yeah, it's a good song, but
the problem with a song like that is
the opening cowbell.
Well, no, what I was going to say, the problem with a song like that is you start to feel like you're the crazy one. Like, why is it that everyone else likes this pile of crap? And then you start hating it more and more than you actually should. It starts making you crazy.
You know what? I have another. Oh boy, do I have one of those on my list. Maybe I'll pull that one out.
Yeah, I've got one or two as well.
I just don't like it. All right, you're up.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna bring it back around to Led Zeppelin as well. So I'm gonna go back to the Houses of the Holy album.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Nothing off.
Whoa,
nothing off Presence.
Holy.
Nothing off Dakota. Something off Houses of the Holy. I'm gonna go with No Quarter.
Oh!
Whoa! All right.
Oh my gosh!
I'm hitting you with No Quarter.
Oh! No Quarter?
No. Oh, Jesus.
What?
Well, let me explain.
You got some splaining to do.
My notes.
Oh, snap.
So, I wrote, they have two total disasters in their catalog, Presence and Coda, and even still, it's hard for me to put a Zepp song on here. But No Quarter is such a depressing dirge, it has to be done. What a sad, drawn-out waste of my time. It stands out as garbage on the same record that contains The Crunge, another pointless exercise and waste of vinyl. No Quarter is funeral music at a funeral you have been forced to attend for someone you didn't like. You are perfectly explaining why I hate this song.
Wow.
Shut up. Yeah,
No Quarter is probably one of my top 4 songs on that album.
No. No.
Song remains the same. The Rain song is my favorite. No Quarter. And I don't know. Well, those are my top 3.
Wow.
See, my favorites would be Over the Hills, Dear Maker. Basically, it makes all the songs, The Ocean. All the songs that you didn't pick as your top.
Well, I think we agree on the crunch, the James Brown workout.
Yeah, I
the pseudo James Brown workout. Led Zeppelin can't do James Brown.
No, but
you know what?
Try.
But that's the reason why I like it, because they gave it an old college try.
The crunch, yeah.
You know, it's like they're trying to sound as black as possible here, but it's not working. But I'll give it to them. It's if some black people played that groove, it would be off the charts.
Maybe, but I don't know. On the crunch, they don't even sound lightly tan.
They're trying so hard.
They're trying.
So that's why I like it. But No Quarter.
Yeah, wow. I can't get with No Quarter. I can't get with, and it's one of those songs that I know is really, really popular. It's a very popular Zeppelin song. And it's gotten to the point where it's like, why? Why do you like that pile of crap? So, yeah,
I'm not a huge fan of it. I mean, I could take it or leave it. I don't think it's not a skipper for me.
I've hated it since the very first time I heard that album when I was 13 and I was going through my my Led Zeppelin metamorphosis. You know, and
your Led Zeppelin awakening.
My Led Zeppelin awakening, and you know, I remember being down in the basement, like saying to my dad, "Dad, have you heard this song?" And it's Stairway to Heaven. Listen to this song. He's like, "Yeah, I've heard this song. I got shit I got to do. You're gonna enjoy." You know, there's nothing quite like the excitement, enthusiasm of a 13-year-old discovering Led Zeppelin for the first time. And even then, I was like, "No Quarter, no thanks." So there you go.
Well,
good.
I will give it No Quarter here.
Wow. Okay, this is song number 5 by one of my all-time favorite artists in the whole wide world, Prince. And the song, and he does have a bunch of clunkers throughout his career, but the one I hate the most, more than anything, in addition to a personal experience with it, is International Lover.
Huh.
That is the biggest fucking waste of time and energy and effort
and vinyl space.
Why?
Which he clearly needed because he stretched it over 2 albums.
Yeah, like it's 20 minutes long. Nobody wants to hear all that bullshit.
That's a bigger waste of time than some of the complete filler he put out in like the final 20 years of his career, because there was some turkey.
Well, but then we're back to what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's fair. Yeah.
But I agree. I never liked that track.
It's so bad. It's so bad, and especially if the whole gist of it is this is a song you're going to play with your girl to get her to fuck you, right? Like it's some slow.
But not all Prince songs, though.
Well,
that's Prince's Steve's, but
this is very pointed, and I can't tell you. You guys don't know this, but I can't tell you how many men, how many boys played that record when you're over there making out or whatever, and they put that on thinking that it's so hot and it's going to get you all hot and bothered, and I get right up and take the needle right off.
Oh, no.
I don't want to hear that shit. That's not going to make me want to fuck you. It's terrible.
I was going to fuck you till you put that on.
Yeah. And that did happen once. No! Oh, yeah. No, it was bad. And I could name the guy. I could call him out right now.
Oh, no.
But I won't do it. I'll just say Steve is his name.
And he got cock-blocked by Prince.
And he got cock-blocked by Prince. Yes. It was... Oh, boy, was it awful.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because I got up and I sat up and I was like, what is this? Why are you playing this? Oh, yeah, baby, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, not today, Satan. I got up. Today, Satan. I took it off the thing. I put my clothes on. Sayonara, sucker. And I left.
Oh, okay, well, I'm going to go with this song. I was maybe not going to do this one, but I'm going to do it because this is one of those songs that people really love. that objectively is a really good song that has, it's well loved, and I don't like it.
Okay.
I really love Dusty Springfield. I really love Dusty Springfield too. I'm a big fan. But fucking son of a preacher man. I do not like that song. Everybody fucking loves that song, and I just don't like it. I can't even really explain why.
I get it.
Because, again, I can stand at it and look at it objectively and understand why it's good. But I've just never liked that song. And it's on the Dusty in Memphis album, which is her best album, an album that I love. But that is a fucking skipper for me.
Well, we talked about this on my podcast.
Have we talked about this song?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
And, you said the exact same things. I don't think it's... I'm not a huge fan of that song. I guess primarily because of it being overplayed at that time, and it was on the radio all the fucking time. You couldn't escape it. And then all the bad covers of it. Yeah. I could never listen to that again and be completely happy.
You made a good point. The covers, and then, inevitably some motherfucker at karaoke's always got to sing that shit.
And then it's been sampled. Cypress Hill sampled. Yep.
That little guitar, the little, talking about.
That song's never really bothered me. I'm sorry that it makes you feel that way. It's kind of unfortunate.
This is the guy that likes hysteria, so. Okay. No, but
this is the guy who's clearly never heard hysteria, so I'm just saying.
I will admit, I've only heard the singles, but boy,
that's most of the album.
Well, then there you go. I've heard it.
That's 7 songs off of it, right?
That's most of the record. Is the same.
10-arm Def Leppard all the way.
10-arm Def Leppard. Oh shit.
10-arm Def Leppard or bust.
Can't with you. Cannot.
I love it. Oof.
Okay.
All right. You back over to me now?
Yes.
All right.
Insert sad trombone sound here.
Wah, wah,
wah.
So I've been hitting up a lot of my early favorite bands. My very first favorite band was Def Leppard. My favorite band after that was Aerosmith, and I went through humongous Ramones phase in high school. Still love the Ramones. There is a Ramones song on this list, and that's what I'm going to do next.
Okay.
Now, all right. So I have a little write-up here, and it's important that I explain. So the song I chose is "Mama's Boy."
Is what again?
Mama's Boy. Ramones, Mama's Boy. So I wrote, these guys really started losing the plot pretty badly in the mid-'80s and never truly got it back again. So lots of weak material for sure. This one really stands out as an example of just how off the rails it was getting. The tough guy punk vibe couldn't be more forced if they tried. Johnny really should have just let Joey turn the band into a pop group like he clearly wanted to do. The album this is from, Too Tough to Die, is sometimes praised as a triumphant return to form, which is ridiculous since the songs are crap, and great songs are a major part of the form you'd think they'd be trying to return to. So Mama's Boy, if you know this one, it's a bunch of really low register, baby, you got an ugly dog. And then,
right, there was that period when Joey started doing that.
It's like, Mama's Boy. It's like, God.
Yeah.
I remember getting Ramones Mania in junior high. That was the first thing I ever got from them, and it's mostly from start to finish.
I thought you meant like you actually had a fever.
Well, I also had Ramones Mania, but they had a hits compilation called Ramones Mania, and I remember getting that. I think I got it at Nobody Beats the Wiz. And almost from start to finish, it's just one banger after another. And then there's a couple of tracks they threw in from like the mid '80s, just obligatory. Mama's Boy and Somebody Put Something in My Drink. And you get all the way through Ramones Mania, and you get like towards the end, and they have those on there. It's like, somebody. And I'm like, what the fuck happened to these guys during that period? Did Joey get vocal surgery and it wasn't quite right? And like, God.
He's stretching out, man. He's starting to try new things.
And the material's like they were trying too hard to be tough guy punks. Like, we got to get back to our roots. But like, no, man. Like, your roots are, I love her so.
Right.
Fuck out of here with this Mama's Boy
they saw
crap.
the fake tough guy thing was working for the Clash, so they thought, well, let's give it a shot.
I guess so, but it wasn't working for me, and it really sticks out like a sore thumb. I mean, I recently did one of my discography runs, start to finish, on the Ramones, so I hadn't listened to all their stuff in a while, and I had like long since been like, oh God, those later albums like, Mondo Bizarro and Adios Amigos, those are just real piles of shit. We're listening through all of it. No, unfortunately, it's the mid to late 80s albums that are the real pieces of crap. Too Tough to Die, Animal Boy, I think Halfway to Sanity. I mean, there is like just straight garbage on those. The final couple of albums, Brain Drain, Mondo Bizarro, they're actually not as bad as I remembered. But like in the mid to late 80s, I don't know what the fuck those guys were doing.
I actually like Too Tough to Die, but I could see why you'd be like, Mama's Boy, yeah, Mama's Boy.
I couldn't stand that stuff. I mean, Ramones for me is... Really, honestly, Ramones for me is the first 6 records. It's the first... I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's the first 4 records, but End of the Century is absolute magic, and Pleasant Dreams has a bunch of incredible stuff on there, too. It's after that Subterranean Jungle, I'm like, yeah, but Too Tough to Die, I'm like, oh, no.
Pleasant Dreams, I can't do Pleasant Dreams.
Pleasant Dreams.
Oh, no, there's some great stuff on Pleasant Dreams.
No.
Yeah, that one I definitely don't like.
For me, that's like the last classic Ramones record, when Joey's influence for like trying to be a pop band was really, really being allowed to shine. After that, I think Johnny just beat the poor guy emotionally into submission.
Well, yeah, he definitely did that for a long, long time.
Yeah, way before that. So. All right, and we're back. One of my all-time favorite singers, musicians, songwriters, entertainers, magic person. Personalities. Sexy, the whole 9. David Bowie. And the song is The Gene Genie.
Oh.
You don't like the Gene Genie?
That song. I hate it.
Wow.
I can't stand it.
But,
no.
Wow.
No,
Why
boy.
don't you like
That's a no, boy.
Michael T., can I sing the Gene Genie next?
I'm not coming to that show.
But if you get into a Michael T. Bowie,
he's going to make me sing
want you to sing Gene Genie.
You're going to do it day in, day out. You'll get Gene Genie.
I'm not going to discuss my least favorite Bowie song.
Oh, he's going to give you the laughing gnome if you say the wrong thing. Watch, it'll happen.
I'll take that shit over anything from Never Let Me Down.
Oh, man. Yeah, I do not. I think it's just... where do I even start? I mean, I like the beat. I like the rhythm. You can't go wrong with consistent hand claps. But the lyrics, no. The Gene and the chorus, the Gene, it's outrageous, it's like another annoying nursery rhyme thing. I can't take it. I hate it.
It's hard for me to hate on a song just based upon the lyrics. I mean, if you were to do that, T-Rex's entire catalog is just completely in the trash.
You obviously don't listen to my podcast.
We've had this discussion.
Multiple times. Right. And I called out the Beatles on that in the last episode. But, the groove is... it's stalwart. You can't not like that.
It's like a garage band thing.
It's a garage band thing, which is like, that hits me where I live. But everything piled on top of it, including the lyrics, I just can't stand it. Like, that has been a skipper for me from day one. The first time I heard that song, I said, I hate this, and I would always skip it. I can't stand it. And don't even get me into karaoke madness with that song. Because everybody thinks they know it, and it's just like na 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 na, outrageous, ma 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 na 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 na, Gene Gene na 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 na, go, and that's it. And you hear that by drunks all night.
Oh no, I'm so
no, thank
sorry.
you. And I love David Bowie, but that song, can't do it.
No good.
No good.
Okay,
that's too bad.
No, it's not.
Well, I am. I say I keep piggybacking off you guys' choices, but that's because I have same bands.
Great minds think alike.
The Ramones.
Oh.
And I'm not gonna go 80s. I'm going mid fucking 70s. Oh yeah. And it's a twofer, and I had one song down and I realized, oh yeah, then this one, and I was like, okay, maybe I'll talk about both of them. Since you did twofers, I thought I'm gonna do this Ramones twofer. I Want to Be Sedated, and Sheena's a Punk Rocker.
You are out of your fucking mind.
Agreed.
Love the Ramones.
Wrong.
That whole period is, it's almost flawless. But I am so fucking sick of those songs. I didn't always dislike them. Those aren't songs that I listened to the first time and went, oh, I don't like that. I have grown to hate them.
That is not the fault of those songs.
True. And I have said this about some of the other songs I mentioned. I'm not necessarily like Son of a Preacher Man. It's not a bad song. I just don't like it. Those Ramones songs, maybe they're not bad songs. I'm just like, ugh.
I mean, I can even see you being sick of I Want to Be Sedated, but Sheena is a punk rocker. How could you ever get tired of that song? It is literally magic.
It probably was in 1977. It was in 1977, but
it wore out its welcome.
No,
yeah, it wore out its welcome. Well, because the thing is that those are the two songs those are the Ramones for Dummies songs.
Yeah, that
and
one.
And so you're going to hear them outside of the realm of people who like the Ramones.
That's true.
You're gonna be at every I keep mentioning karaoke as if I go to karaoke all the time. I don't, but that gives you an idea of that's the world that those songs live in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they do.
And I'm just like, ugh.
And those are the songs that the super drunk people do.
Yeah.
It's so easy. All I do is repeat the same thing 500 times.
And there's nothing to learn on bass. You just do the songs without even going over the songs at all.
That's right.
Sorry.
It's so easy.
Sorry. That's an inside joke.
Oh, yes, that's an inside joke.
It's a painful inside joke.
Very painful inside joke.
But, yeah, I honestly, more than any of the bands that I love that I've mentioned so far, it kind of pains me to do that to the Ramones, especially in that era.
Yeah.
But I don't like those songs.
It's a fair cop.
It pains me that you do it too.
I'm good with it.
Look, I get your rationale. I do. It's just, I love those songs. I get where you're coming from. I can't agree, but I understand it.
Yeah. Because, I mean, you could easily say, well, what about Rockaway Beach? Rockaway Beach is fucking great. But it's not been bludgeoned. It hasn't been bludgeoned to death like those songs have been.
Yeah. No, that's true. Wow. All right. I'm supposed to go after that.
Dropping bombshells.
All right, dropping bombshells. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna
compose yourself.
Compose myself.
Pull yourself together.
I'm sorry. I'm going after somebody who just hated on Sheena. I don't know. All right, but anyway, I'll do it for the sake of the episode. I'll soldier on.
Come on.
So I'm gonna bring the Brothers Gibb into this.
Ooh.
Oh.
Things are going to get real now.
Things are going to get real. Now, all right, so here's the thing. All right, let me just go right into my explanation. All right, so the song I chose is My Thing by the Bee Gees. Okay.
From Cucumber Castle?
From Cucumber Castle. Paul already knows where this is going. All right, so I wrote, yikes, all capitals. And I wrote, what are we even doing here? Bowsy wow wowsy? This almost feels like punching down, and Cucumber Castle is a bit of an oddity in their discography anyway. I like a lot of things on this record a lot, though, but the turds stand out aggressively. You know the song has to be bad when it beats out The Lord, which is on the same album. These guys have put out so much music over so many decades that it simply isn't possible to not find some really terrible stuff. This song stands out even with that in mind. Like, okay, so if you're not familiar with the song, I'm going to give you a taste of the chorus. Bowsy wow wowsy. Bowsy wow wow. 2 minutes and 20 seconds of that.
Well, that happens once in the song. I don't think that's the chorus.
That's the second chorus.
That only happens once in the song, so it doesn't. Yeah. It isn't that on repeat, but that does happen in the song.
That is a perfect example of there's a problem there. Okay, come on.
I'm okay with that song, but that moment in the song is definitely like
what are you doing? And I mean it, because that song on the album, The Lord, you gotta have faith in the Lord, boom, boom, and I'm like, whoa, this is a low point. And then we get to My Thing on side 2, and I'm like, oh, we hadn't bottomed out yet. I see.
Man, there's some great stuff on that record.
Cucumber Castle is criminally underrated in their catalog. I mean, it's only 2 of them. Robin had gone off to do a solo record.
Right.
But the good stuff on Cucumber Castle is incredible. Like I.O. Oh my!
If I only had my mind on something else, that's a top 10 Bee Gees song.
I know. I Lay Down and Die. Is that? Yeah.
I don't know. Is that on there?
I think so. Let's real quick. Let's look at the songs on Cucumber Castle. There's absolute magic on Cucumber Castle.
Ay-yo.
Ay-yo, my-yo. Incredible. All right, so what do we got on here? If I only had my mind on something else, I-O, then you left me, the Lord, I was the child, I lay down and die, incredible song. Sweetheart, bury me down by the river, my thing, chance of love, turning tide, don't forget to remember. I mean, there is some incredible material. I mean, they went for like a full wall of sound on this record. I mean, it's amazing.
Right.
But then there's some
What year did that come out?
1970.
There's some absolute howlers on this album that are just unforgivable, and My Thing is one of them.
All right. We're going to be hearing from those Bee Gees fans. Actually, we're going to be hearing from the fucking Ramones fans.
I know we are.
All right, so that concludes the first part number 1 of this panel discussion, Songs We Hate by Bands We Love. As you may recall, last time we had our panel discussion video, it ran like 2 hours, and so I ended up splicing it into 2 episodes. And that's what I'm doing now, because once again, we ended up doing this for 2 hours, and, nobody wants to watch these videos for 2 hours. And, so I'm giving you part 1 now, and I'll be doing part 2, rather, maybe later on in the week, maybe next week, I don't know which yet, but you will be getting that next. But thanks everybody who's been watching. Thanks everybody for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. And if you do subscribe, click the little bell because you're going to want notifications. And like and comment and all that stuff. A lot of people have been commenting lately, and I really appreciate it. I haven't responded to a lot of them yet lately because there's a lot. And but I read them all, and I definitely plan to respond to most of them. Some of them I'll just look at it and just kind of go, But you never know. But anyway, thanks everybody, and get ready for part 2. I'll see you next time.